The story starts when a cute new girl with huge and amazing melons appears as the new transfer student in Hirano-kun's class. Hirano-kun wants to have a normal and healthy school life. The girl, Terasuru, is really pretty. She has long blonde hair, wide eyes, and the biggest melons. She is trying to be really cute, telling the class to take care of her. However, Hirano-kun is rather freaked out, not because of something this new student has done, but because of her huge melons. He's really shocked to see how big a load she's carrying. As a student, and of course as a guy, he has a desire to enjoy those melons, but the problem is that he is rather scared of them as he has a phobia of big melons. The bell rings, and now it is time for lunch. As Hirano-kun approaches the canteen, he realizes that all the bread in the canteen has been sold out. He knows that it is because someone has bought all the bread trying to impress the new student with massive melons. Sure enough, as he thought, there is a student who is offering everyone bread now, trying to get on good terms with the new student with devilishly huge melons. Hirano-kun finishes his lunch and is about to go wash his lunchbox. But as he turns, his face comes in contact with those devilishly massive melons, causing him to lose his balance and fall to the ground. As he is on the floor, he can't help feeling what he has just witnessed. It makes his stick jiggle. He is unsure whether he has collided with melons or just a huge mountain. However, as he notices the melons and comes back to his senses, he sees that she is rather worried about him as he has fluid coming out. It isn't because he is injured, rather, it is because of what he is feeling and the thoughts that he is having regarding those huge knockers. The cute girl helps him up, and as he stands, he realizes that the girl with devilishly huge melons looks like an angel descended from heaven. The gates of hell to our protagonist's high school life are now open. The new transfer student in the class means the start of a school love comedy, indicating every other student will do hilarious things trying to impress her. When their teacher is deciding where she shall sit, everyone starts praying that they will get this honor. However, everyone but Hirano-kun, and he doesn't care at all about what happens with the new student. To his surprise, the angelic student chooses to sit next to Igarashi, who is the most handsome and popular guy in the whole class. He is always taking stands for the weak, really quick to fight, but blunt and straightforward, causing him to be the center of attention in the class. In addition to his already popular status, he is the captain of the school's soccer club, which is on the edge of being shut down, and he is also a man of character. As the angelic student sits next to him, he greets her and shows her his kindness and his great aura. However, sitting right next to Igarashi also means that she is sitting right next to Hirano-kun, who is busy thinking that everyone in the class will now start making a clown out of themselves just trying to impress her. However, sitting right next to her has its own disadvantages. This means that he will have to observe her and the efforts of every other student trying to impress her more closely than anyone. He considers himself the background character. However, just at that moment, the angelic student speaks to him, leaning over her desk with her huge melons resting on the table. She greets him and asks him to treat her well. However, Hirano-kun is shocked. He can't help but notice her melons and tries to keep his cool. He thinks that she is a really nice student and angel as she even cares about a background character like him. After school that day, the angelic student is faced with quite a difficult situation as she is being offered to walk home with Igarashi. And despite her politely refusing, Igarashi insists on giving her this honor. She tries to make excuses that she needs to talk to the teacher, which would cause her to be late, but Igarashi tells her that he can wait, leaving her with no other option. However, as she sees Hirano-kun, she gets a sudden idea. Our protagonist is walking when she approaches him and asks whether she can have a word with him. She explains to him that quite recently in the faculty room, she was instructed to order some fabric for the gym. Hirano-kun tells her that gym attire can be obtained from the school uniform shop in a shopping district. However, the angelic student replies that the only issue is that she has no idea where the school uniform shop is, and when he advises her to use Google Maps, she gives the excuse that she doesn't have her own phone and can't ask for help from a stranger. Hence, this means that he has to guide her and keep her company. Hirano-kun walks with her, guiding her every so often. He watches how much she is enjoying exploring the shops. However, at one moment he sees her staring at a cute object and realizes that she has her phone in her hand and is trying to take a picture of that object. He is rather at a loss for words. He confronts her about why she lied to him by telling him that she didn't have a phone, but she explains that the phone belongs to her parents. Besides, she explains that she really did not want to come alone. That is the reason she asked for help from Hirano-kun. Hirano-kun doesn't know what to say. He does not want to say anything at all. He is just looking at her melons when she is talking to the shopkeeper. He can't help but notice how horrifying her melons look from a side angle. He concludes that she is rather devilish than angelic. Our protagonist is tricked into helping the beautiful new transfer student purchase some gym outfits. She asks him to wait for her while she tries the new fabric. However, Hirano-kun really wants to go home, but the angelic student has other plans for him. She tells him that she needs him to see whether it is the correct fit for her or not. As Harano-kun is waiting for her to finish, he hears someone's voice. It is Igarashi and his friends. He becomes nervous, thinking the situation looks quite complicated, and that Igarashi and his friends could easily misunderstand him. He believes that Igarashi would be infuriated with him as to why he, the background character, is with such a beautiful girl. He thinks that to prevent this all from happening, he has to get away from them before they find him out, and so he does. He hides behind a wall. Sometime later, and he discovers that Igarashi and his friends are nowhere to be seen, he goes back and sees that the angelic girl is standing outside, asking for his opinion about the fabric. He is startled to see her like this. Her huge melons look even more massive in this fabric, and clearly, the fabric is too small. He gives her his opinion and opts for a fabric that is bigger than this one. However, she tells him that she already knew this. But this makes Harano-kun confused. If she knew what the problem was, then why did she ask him to give his opinion and come in front of her? He offers to get her a bigger fabric, and he goes away. However, just as he is about to leave, he hears Igarashi's voice, saying that he recently heard the new transfer student's voice and decided to find her. At this moment, Harano-kun has completely forgotten about Igarashi being there. He quickly hides in the dressing room, and the new student also follows him. However, in the room, his face is so close to the melons that he can't help but have thoughts about those massive melons. Watching her massive melons, Harano-kun becomes unconscious. Previously, Harano-kun hides himself in the room with the beautiful new girl. Watching her huge melons, he becomes unconscious as he has a phobia of melons. The devilishly beautiful girl realizes that Igarashi has left and tells Harano-kun. However, Harano-kun is unconscious. She continues searching the store, finding new outfits that she doesn't even hope to find. She is rather enjoying herself, and knowing that he is unconscious, she tries to make the most of her time. Meanwhile, Harano-kun is having a dream of that girl, thinking she's trying cute fabrics for him and a fabric that is for a nurse. She then gets bored and tries to tease Harano-kun. However, before this dream can go any longer, Harano-kun wakes up, and as soon as he does, he sees that the new girl is close to him. She thanks him for giving her his company. The devilishly beautiful girl goes home with an angelic smile on her face. This whole scenario makes our protagonist quite confused. He thinks maybe it was all just a nightmare. It is Valentine's Day, and every other student intends to provide the new student with gifts and win her heart. Each and every one of them is trying to impress her, but her strategy is quite different. She gives every student in her class some chocolates as she wants everyone to enjoy and be happy with themselves. However, she's quite mistaken, as she doesn't consider what others might think if a girl gives them chocolate on Valentine's Day. There is Igarashi offering her gifts as well. However, what the new student has done is not because she wants a gift in return, as selfless love does not seek its own interest. She politely refuses Igarashi's offer by telling him that her intention in giving everyone chocolate is that no one should feel left behind and everyone should be happy. Harano-kun also receives chocolate from Terasuru. However, he is not in the mood to chat or even thank her. He really wants to go home and keep his distance from the angelic beauty, Terasuru. He is just about to leave when she questions him about her return gift. Harano-kun is rather startled. He thinks to himself that on the one hand, she is telling other people that she is not interested in getting returned gifts, and on the other hand, she is embarrassing him by asking for one. She seems disappointed seeing that Harano-kun does not have any gifts for her on Valentine's Day. She tells him that his action has really hurt her feelings. However, Harano-kun now feels guilty and asks her how he can make up for it. Terasuru becomes really happy upon hearing this and tells him that he will have to join her that afternoon for tea. However, Harano-kun is now really questioning himself. He is asking himself multiple questions, trying to make sense of them. He is confused as to why she wants a return gift just from him and why she wants to have afternoon tea. Harano-kun and Terasuru are now sitting in a decent coffee shop. However, Harano-kun is worried that this place looks really expensive, and without any doubt, he will have to pay for it today. So he thinks he should probably call his parents and inform them. While he is busy with these worries, Terasuru is busy admiring cute cake stands. She is playing with her food and trying to tease Harano-kun. Harano-kun is already feeling frustrated that he will have to pay for such pricey things, and her teasing him is making him even angrier. However, there's a new villain in the story, Terasuru's maid, who is spying on her, watching how her place has been taken by Harano-kun. She is of the view that after all the trouble she's going through trying to book this place, she should be the one who gets to go with her. However, this honor has been granted to Harano-kun instead. In her view, this is something she can never forgive. When the bill arrives, Harano-kun's face goes white as he sees how costly it is. But to his amazement, the bill is paid by Terasuru, which makes him realize that it is quite unusual for a high school girl to have a credit card with that much money. Everyone in the class is really excited about the upcoming trip, and almost every guy is competing to be in the same group as Terasuru. They are literally doing their best to win her over. Well, everyone apart from Hirano-kun, whose actual wish as a background character is simply not to be left alone and to be in a group, no specifications, it should just be a group because to him, being left out is the most tragic thing that could happen to anyone. On the other side, Igarashi has made a ladder lottery for everyone to figure out who should be in the same group as Terasuru. He tells them to put their names in the empty spots. However, they immediately figure out that this thing is rigged, so they refuse. However, Terasuru tells them that she would be more than happy to be paired with any of them and suggests that maybe it would be more logical to make groups based on seat order. By seat order, the members in the group with Terasuru would be Igarashi and Hirano-kun. Igarashi is really pleased with himself as he thinks that Terasuru has done this purposely and chosen him. However, she is actually quite happy for Hirano-kun to be in her group. In class, she teases him about it, telling him again and again that they are in the same group and suggesting that she should bring some cute fabric for the trip. This makes Hirano-kun blush, but he is quite worried as he thinks that her intentions might be to disturb him with that cute fabric. The caretaker of Terasuru's house is almost always by Terasuru's side. It is her duty to always protect her from any danger she might face. She even goes shopping with her, helping and guiding her by giving her opinions on what she might get that would help her be cute and also keep danger away. She sees that Terasuru has a fabric that looks way too cute. She advises her not to have it because it is way too cute, and she wouldn't be able to defend herself from danger. She reminds her that they are there to find fabric for the school event, and this one is not suitable for that purpose. However, Terasuru does not want to take no for an answer. She tells her that even though it is a school event, it is still an event and it looks cute, so she will have it. The maid explains that she fears if someone sees her like this, they will fall in love with her, and she will get a partner. In addition, if something like that happens, her job will be made a lot more difficult because she will have to deal with two people and take care of both of them. However, Terasuru assures her that nothing like that is going to happen ever. She tries to tease her by saying that she can always find another job, but they both know it is all a joke because Terasuru really likes her maid, and the maid also likes Terasuru. Moreover, the maid never wants to work with anyone else other than Terasuru. But this makes the maid really emotional. She starts crying because of how much she loves her boss and can't ever imagine leaving her. As she comes back to her senses, she asks Terasuru who the boy she was having tea with the other day was and why she had tea with him. Terasuru's reply is simple. She tells her that she had tea with him because she likes him. Hirano-kun is really enjoying himself on the trip. He is staring out the bus window, enjoying the view. He keeps thinking about Terasuru and how closely intimate they are becoming. He also thinks that he is feeling a bit of emotional disturbance, and maybe the reason is her, the way she makes him feel. Maybe that is why he hasn't been feeling well lately. It is really quiet on the bus, and Hirano-kun wishes it would stay quiet. However, at that moment, the silence is broken by their teacher, who instructs them that it is now break time and they have 15 minutes to get out and enjoy. After the break is over, Hirano-kun comes back to his seat. However, Terasuru also joins him and sits right next to him. Hirano-kun is rather startled by such a display of confidence, so he asks her why she changed her seat, as her seat should be quite far back. She tells him that she never expected him to welcome her in that tone. Rather, she expected him to be happy to see her. However, now all Hirano-kun can think about are her melons. He keeps seeing them from his side eye. This means that until they arrive at their destination, Hirano-kun will have to refrain from looking at the melons. He has to survive this at all costs. He, however, repeats his question as to why she changed her seat, to which she replies that she got motion sickness from sitting in the back. And she tells him that if he minds, she could go back. However, this is not the intention of Hirano-kun. He asks her why she didn't take the seat at the very front. However, Terasuru chooses to ignore him and continues to speak. She tells him that they should take a psych test. Hirano-kun is really disappointed with himself. He thought he would be able to enjoy this bus ride in peace, but that is now looking quite impossible. Finally, the bus makes it to its destination. Afterward, everyone begins to do their group activities. Terasuru is looking at an aquarium filled with sharks. Hirano-kun believes that strong people are attracted to strong things, hence Terasuru being strong is attracted to sharks. Just then, Igarashi comes close to Terasuru and asks her to come with him to see the penguins. Hirano-kun is left alone again, and another girl approaches him, asking whether they should explore on their own. He asks her if he has seen her helping out in the library, and she agrees, telling him that she is in the same group as him. She is also a background character, just like Hirano-kun. They start to discuss sharks not being interested in anything other than what they are fed. She tells him that the best thing is that even the strongest creatures don't chase after their prey when they are in their senses. However, watching Harano-kun and that girl talk, Terasuru becomes extremely jealous. She watches them for a while and becomes angry and walks away. Previously, the class visited the aquarium for a trip, and Terasuru became jealous of the girl talking to Harano-kun. She went to the other side, covering her head with her hands, trying to hide her face. When Harano-kun sees her, he asks her what is wrong and what she is doing there all alone. However, no matter how many times he asks, she doesn't reply. Eventually, she tells him that she saw him smiling with another girl. In addition, she says that she never thought about his feelings, only her own. She never thought that he would feel really happy with someone else until she saw that smile of his. She tells him that deep down, she knew she could never put a smile on his face that way. She realizes that she was only pretending to keep him happy and that she wasn't caring about his feelings, so she figures it's time for her to stop. However, her saying this makes Harano-kun pretty much confused and embarrassed. Now he knows that she is in love with him and has wanted to spend time with him from the start. However, he tells her that what she has just said is not the truth. She asks Harano whether he enjoys being with her or not. Harano-kun is left with no choice other than to lie for her sake. Hence, in order to make her feel relieved, he tells her that yes, he really does enjoy spending time with her, while clenching his fists. Terasuru turns around with a smirk on her face, telling Harano-kun that she was just kidding. Harano is now fuming with anger. He knows she has got him, she has won. While they are returning from the trip, their teacher instructs them to stay together and that the bus will be leaving in 30 minutes. Terasuru and her friends are taking selfies with each other. Watching Terasuru having a good time, Harano is really infuriated because she played a trick on him and spoiled his mood while she was enjoying her time here with those massive melons. Harano-kun feels betrayed. He thought that at that moment, he was getting to know Terasuru a little bit better. Her questions still echo in his mind. He is going through the same thing again and again, asking himself why she chose him. In the end, he thinks maybe she was just messing with him. As he comes back to the bus, he sees that she has gifted him a shark keychain and has attached it to his bag. As the bus reaches their school again, she quietly goes off to her home, pretending like nothing ever happened. Harano-kun is in shock, watching all these things happen. The day the maid tries to style her own hair for the first time is the day she meets Terasuru, and they both develop a close affiliation with each other. It's the first day of their high school cultural festival. The maid, a student there, thinks that no one pays any attention to her, so she would be fine no matter what she wears. However, this is not what happens. The exact opposite happens. She becomes the star of the party. Everyone is paying attention to her. Ogashika, the maid, is pretty embarrassed because most of them are mocking her for the type of hairstyle she has. In addition, they think she looks very different today. Maybe it is the festival vibes. Ogashika, the maid, is rather shy of people, and she tries to avoid them by not telling them, a thing she regrets to this day. She feels like an idiot and takes off her hairband, curling up on the floor and sitting with her back to the wall. Terasuru approaches her and asks her if she can help if she allows her to. Without waiting for her reply, she does, and after she is done, Ogashika looks really pretty in her new hairstyle. That is the first time Ogashika, the maid, meets Terasuru. Terasuru looks like an angel to her at that moment, and it is at this moment that they both form a bond so strong.